This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Reporting on the conspiracy that took place to overturn the United States government, or overthrow the United States government by overturning a free and fair election, the reporting and information is coming out fast right now. Right now, the Washington Post and several other media outlets are reporting that Donald Trump's plan for these fake electors, you see, how we elect through the Electoral College, this arcane, insane, early constitutional America idea about how we should elect our government is still in place almost 250 years later. It's a shame. It's bizarre. It's anti-democratic, the Electoral College. But it's tradition, and it's part of the institution, and people just have some weird reverence for it. It's dumb. And through that weird, bizarre, archaic system, there are slates of electors from the states that issue their votes on behalf of the popular vote. It's dumb, to be sure, again. But there were a fake slate of electors that were proposed by Donald Trump's campaign. Not real, not valid, not legitimate at all. And what they hoped through Mike Pence, they hoped Mike Pence would not certify the election. That didn't happen. So the mob descended upon the Capitol to try to delay the proceedings of certifying the election, which they had hoped would send the election back to the states where these fake electors could be named, and then they would vote for Donald Trump. That was the plan. And this is a deep conspiracy that goes far and wide throughout the swing states. Keep in mind, there were no fake slate of electors in Texas. There were no fake slate of electors in Idaho or sure thing states for Donald Trump. There were only fake slates of electors for states that were swing states that he lost. And now we're learning from this Washington Post headline, fake Trump electors in Georgia told to shroud plans in secrecy, email show. The message informed those involved in the plan that they were not allowed to discuss their intentions even to state Capitol security. And why would they want to keep it so secret? That is because they knew what they were doing was wrong. They knew what they were doing was seditious and treasonous and extra-constitutional. And in order to keep the plan, the conspiracy, criminal conspiracy quiet, they needed to keep it secret. A staffer for Donald Trump's presidential campaign instructed Republicans planning to cast electoral votes for Trump in Georgia, despite Joe Biden's victory, to operate in complete secrecy, an email obtained from the Washington Post shows. Quote, "I must ask for your complete discretion in this process," wrote Robert Sinners, the campaign's election operations director for Georgia, the day before the 16 Republicans gathered at the Georgia Capitol to sign certificates declaring themselves duly elected. Now, I'm sure there's some low-hanging fruit jokes about the fact that this guy's name is Robert Sinners, but I will not be partaking in that low-hanging fruit. I like high-minded jokes. This is from him, Robert Sinners, quote, "Your duties are imperative to ensure the end result, a win in Georgia for President Trump, but will be hampered unless we have complete secrecy and discretion." Yeah. The December 13, 2020 email went on to instruct the electors to tell security guards at the building that they had an appointment with one of two state senators. Quote, "Please, at no point should you mention anything to do with presidential electors or speak to the media, Sinners," continued in bold. The admonishments suggest that those who carried out the fake elector plan were concerned that had the gathering become public before Republicans could follow through on casting their votes, the effort could have been disrupted. Georgia law requires that electors fulfill their duties at the state capitol on December 14th, 2020, protesters for and against the two presidential candidates had gathered on the Capitol grounds. And here enters the work of the House Select Committee investigating the insurrection. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6, 2021 attack on the United States Capitol, which begins public hearings on Thursday, is likely to highlight the scheme to appoint fake electors and explore whether top Trump campaign officials initiated the strategy as part of a larger effort to overthrow the Democratic election. Come on. Who believes that this was just a plan that spontaneously occurred in multiple disparate swing states? They were doing this in Michigan as well. This wasn't some loose thing that there was a concerted conspiracy to overturn the election and reinstall Donald Trump extra-constitutionally, like we're some kind of a developing nation that doesn't have a grasp on democracy. Norm Eisen, a fellow Republican at the Brookings Institution and the counsel to House Democrats for the first Trump impeachment, said the email could suggest those involved knew their actions could be problematic. Quote, "If there was nothing wrong with it, why go through such extraordinary lengths to hide what you're doing?" he asked. Exactly. They were covering the conspiracy. Georgia was one of 7 states won by Biden, where Republican electors gathered December 14, 2020, signing certificates purporting to affirm Trump as the actual victor of their states. Though Biden's win in Georgia had been formally certified and reconfirmed after a recount and court cases, Trump supporters later cited the actions of the electors to argue Biden's win in Georgia and elsewhere remained in doubt. It is both a conspiracy theory and a criminal conspiracy to overthrow the United States government through overturning the election. Clear-cut case. You can't tell me you love democracy. You can't tell me you love America with your patriotism, literally hugging the flag while violating the Constitution and attempting to reinstall a wannabe autocrat just because he's your particular political flavor. Gross. They argued that when Congress met on January 6, 2021 to count the Electoral College votes, that Vice President Mike Pence could choose to recognize Trump's electors over Biden's. Trump supporters violently stormed the United States Capitol after Pence announced he believed that the Constitution required him to recognize only official electors. And here we are. We witnessed what we witnessed. That can't be taken away. Live television, when Mike Pence decided he wasn't going to violate the Constitution and as one person nullified the votes of 81 plus million Americans, the mob sprung into action. Violent mob to overtake the Capitol and delay the counting of the certification of the Electoral College votes in Congress. And Donald Trump is at the heart of this. And if you think he's not, you're either not thinking clearly or you have motivated reasoning, because they're all there. All of the facts. And we're going to start to see this picture more largely painted for us on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on every news network except for Fox News. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Thanks for your time and your attention and your engagement with my content. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. Leave a like and a comment and do all the stuff that the YouTubers say to do. I guess I am indeed a YouTuber. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, at Dollemore. That's where I am. And if I am your flavor of YouTube personality, of political commentator, Please consider supporting my work. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for as little as $2 a month, pennies a day, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I know that's I Doubt It podcast. I was a podcaster before. I was on YouTube. That is not just for the podcast, although you should subscribe to I Doubt It podcast. It is a good time. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.